Should I angle this more toward me now, or are you going to control yourself?
Yeah. See that?
See that solid block?
Solid block of sonic terrorism.
Why are you terrorizing our friend?
Oh.
Get the brown note. Can you hit the brown note?
Actually, they have the brown note recorded. You can listen to it online, but you need. They say it only works
You
if
can sit on a toilet?
no, like in a big amphitheater. You need the big bassy stuff.
Oh, so you can't, like, it's not like something you can find on a recorder
no
and just, like, play for
situation.
somebody.
No, it's
You
not
get
South
to be
Park.
to test it.
Right.
Untestable.
Well, I'm Oxnard.
Oh, hi. Oh, that's it. I'm Dexter.
Start over.
Well, I'm including all that brown note. That's how I like to do it. It sounds like.
Yeah, it's natural.
No!
This is going in too.
Okay. I'm boss.
Before we get
This is it.
started, just disclaimer: we're going to be very negative. We're going to be nitpicky.
Yeah.
Quote,
I'm
unquote,
not
nitpicky.
going to be negative. I'm going to be honest.
And if
I'm not going to be nitpicky. I'm going to be honest. I do not think I'm being nitpicky.
if that's something that annoys you, you can
Okay.
stop listening right now.
Sure.
If
No,
you
you
enjoy-
should listen to learn why you're wrong.
If
If you stop listening, I'll know, and I'll find you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I will make you listen.
It's okay to like things.
Please listen. Please.
Please, Jorah's ass. Jorah, I mean Tormund's ass.
Jorah.
Stay tuned after the show for a look
As
inside the
Oxnard
episode.
was saying, it's okay to
I
like
look inside the
things
episode
that
on this
suck if you want to.
All right, so this was called The Long Night. 8 years in the waiting, and
I was
8
very
years.
excited for this episode when it came
So-
out. I was
so-
very
so
excited.
I thought
We
this
saw
was
a
going to
cool
be
White Walker 8 years ago, killing Night's Watch.
Yes, let's go back 8 years
And
to
it
the
was-
beginning.
It was
I was reading
intriguing.
off my notes, so we can just go off that.
I got a lot of mints.
Bad Breath Day.
If anybody wants mint.
I love the mints.
I realized I had a fistful already in my pocket, and then I grabbed more, and I stuck them in there. They're like these weird lifesaver things. At first, I thought they were disgusting and off-putting, but now I'm addicted to them.
All right,
Anyway,
Oxnard,
Sorry.
sum it up.
The first scene of the show, season 1, is about the threat of the White Walkers.
Spilled vodka on me already.
They should be the overarching theme to the story. Now, in the
Yeah.
book's going to be different. The thing about Game of Thrones that makes it so special is that it subverts all your expectations as to what a fantasy
Oh, don't talk
story
about that
is.
now. Don't talk about subverting expectations. We're talking about this
No,
Star
but-
Wars-esque debacle.
But
Like Ryan Johnson. I don't want to subvert everybody's expectations. Anyway.
no,
No, but that's true.
that's the thing in the books. There's no real bad guy. There's no real good guy. Everyone is flawed. Everyone has different
Right.
things. There's people you root for.
Look
and
at
then they
Jamie,
die.
for example.
Yeah.
Jamie's a
Very
scumbag, but
complicated
he
story.
ends up being one of the most intriguing characters, and most human character.
Just realized having a mint before recording. is the
I
stupidest
can't
thing
believe
to
you
do.
took when I started eating it.
Oh, yeah, finish it. But
We'll wait. Sorry for all those people that are, what's that phobia about people eating and stuff? Like hearing the...
chewing-a-phobia.
Yes, chewophobians.
grossophobia. Yeah. So just the fact that the Night King has become the Sauron
Right.
is not what Game of Thrones is about. That's
No,
not.
no, there's much more complicated lore. We don't even really know exactly what's going on with the Night King or the Night's King or whatever it's
Yeah.
going to be in
The
the
show
books.
made the Night
it's
King
all
huge.
lore. Right, absolutely.
He might
Yeah.
have a very minor role in the books. It's just like a side thing that's going on.
Yeah.
I don't want to compare it to the books, though. Let's
no, I'm
judge
just
the
saying.
show based upon what the
I'm
show
just-
gave us.
Oh,
Because
it's
the-
bad even if you just judge it on
That's
its
what
own
I wanna
show's
focus on.
merits,
That's what I
forgetting
wanna
the book.
focus
Well,
on.
no,
Boss,
we're
I'm
going to
just-
talk about it all, boss. Don't worry.
I'm just saying that because the show started with the books. They followed the books pretty well. Not
George
everything
Martin
perfect.
was heavily involved.
George Martin would write some episodes, and so I'm just saying.
Like the prologue in the show, that first scene in the show is the prologue of Game of Thrones, the book.
Yeah.
That's what happens in the first. That's the first thing you're reading, is that scene. So that's what they led with. They were very true to all the stuff going on in the first season with what's happening in the book.
Yes.
And that is largely because I think George Martin was involved, and then as he became less and less involved, to the point of I think he wasn't really involved at all with the production of the show, then you can see where it starts to derail
happens
more and more, and the inconsistencies start to come up.
It's
So anyway,
around-
that's the point
Go
that
through
he's
your
making.
list
That's the
before
point
we
that he's
move on.
making.
It's like season
That's the whole point.
season
Go through your
5 and
list.
6.
Well, we're gonna go as we go through the episode. He's gonna talk.
I
and we're
want
gonna
him to
talk
mention
about it.
everything all
in
at
one
once.
shot. Oh, he wants
Oh
you to just.
yeah.
Oh,
Rattle
okay.
it off.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
But I was just gonna say, like season 5, 6. That's when you start seeing, stuff with the sand snakes and Dorn, and it's going off the books, and you just start seeing the thing fall apart. Okay, Miguel Sapochnik, I believe is how you pronounce that name. Director
Not important.
of this episode. He's not in the bloody budget guy.
No, that's Neil Marshall, I think.
Directed Battle of the Bastards, which to me is one
Right.
of the coolest fantasy battle scenes.
I feel like that's one of just like a great example of like a medieval battle fantasy.
Yeah.
I mean, not even fantasy, just like a medieval battle scene.
And he did
almost.
Hard Home. I don't know if he did Blackwater. I know he did those two.
Hard Home is again. I fucking love. That
I don't
episode.
know what happened here. That's all I'll say. I'm not-
Hubris, man.
This doesn't seem like that
Hubris.
director. Episode was too dark. Couldn't see.
Well, boss wants you to just list everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Just go through.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't
We're
want to
summing up what we're
list
gonna
and
talk
about,
about.
and then we'll talk about it. If you're still here, we're gonna continue talking.
I
about
didn't
it.
think my nose would be
The
this
moment's
important.
passing, the more we talk. Just go through it.
Okay. Editing was horrible.
You're losing the moment. Hurry.
Too chaotic. I want to know what the fuck is going on. The Thraki charge was stupid because they're light cavalry, and you don't have your light cavalry up in front.
Just list the things. Don't talk
but
about
then
it.
we're gonna get back. Danny and
Well,
John.
I don't know. This is boss's. It's his. He's in charge now.
Okay.
If
Just
I was in
list it.
charge, we'd delete this and we'd start over. You'd read it,
There's
and then we'd
nothing-
Why
go.
do we have to read it? Like list it. Can't we
Because
go through it
we're
like and talk
talking
about?
what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Why don't we just talk
I'll do
about
it quick.
it?
I'll do it quick.
All right, but anyway.
Danny and John did nothing. Davos gives a signal to light the trenches, but Danny can't see. Then you cut to John right there at the castle on a dragon and not doing anything. Arya's sneak scene was so stupid. It looked like The Walking Dead. Why are these walkers acting like zombie walkers from The Walking Dead? Doesn't make any sense. That's not how they are. Was this just a setup that she can sneak so that she could sneak up on the Night King later? Any named character is safe except for, Jorah, Theon, and I think 2 other ones.
That random
The
Night's
Red Lady
Watch guy
dies.
nobody
Hold on,
cares
just
about.
list it. We're not gonna talk about it yet.
Yeah.
Theon should have killed the Night King. Would have been more interesting. Anyone but Arya killing the Night King would have been more interesting. The battle with Cersei should have been handled first. The Night King should have made it to King's Landing. They should have lost this battle. Arya is trash, an arrogant little girl, and it's
Bold
girl
claim.
power BS. Varys has one line, and as I said last week, it was cryptic.
It was cryptic.
What
was it?
What was the line?
It was like, at least we're in a crypt.
It was cryptic.
Oh, there's Ghost. Yeah, that's good. I guess he's dead too.
Ghost's got to be dead, right?
Yeah, but who cares? Who cares about
Doesn't
that?
matter.
Game of Thrones is about playing the game. It's like chess. The wrong move will get you killed. Actions have consequences. Now the show just seems like it's set up, payoff. Ned was attacked by Jaime in season 1 and had to use a cane until he was finally killed. Jon encountering his first walker, Gior Mormont.
Yeah.
Remember? It was a huge scene. He had to wear a bandaged hand after that. It was a huge thing.
Yeah.
Now Jon's surrounded and he's fine. Things don't mean anything anymore. There's no consequences. I'm not afraid
The
that
Night
someone's gonna
King
die.
smiles, okay?
Season 7.
That is one of my biggest fucking gripes
I just
with
have
this
2 more.
episode. I can't hold it back anymore, boss.
Season
You're making
7
it- You're torturing me. He's got to list
Wait.
everything.
Wait.
I've got 2 more.
Hurry up!
Season 7 was Hollywood schlock, and season 8 is the sequel that no one cares about.
There we go.
That's it.
Okay.
So
all right.
now what
I
do
love
I do?
All right, now
everything
what
you
was the
said.
first thing on the list? Let's
I
start
agree
talking
with
about it,
everything
actually.
and more.
The first thing is
I think we should first talk about
Wait, read the list again.
the whole point, which I mentioned before, is before we talk about each scene, little things like that.
Yeah.
The fact that the Night King died. Let's talk about that, Dexter,
Okay, you want to talk about that?
now, you can talk loud. I'm
and
just-
how it was killed.
Yeah, I just made because this is what you did last week.
Let's get
Let's
on
dive
that
into the
first.
Night
Boss
King,
either
okay?
does this where he leans back and just talks low. Oh, he's dying. We gotta find a nice, healthy
I'm
middle
gonna
ground.
do a nice medium.
All right,
But-
let's talk about the. You want to jump right into the Night King?
Sure, that's what everyone talks about.
Good. Arya jumped right into him.
Oh, and then she did that little Rey move from Star Wars.
Yeah,
So
drop
his-
the blade.
Yeah,
and
where
catch
they
it.
have her. Was that the last movie? Yeah, that was the most recent, like, main storyline, the Skywalker saga Star Wars movie, where
I haven't seen
I think
it.
she's fighting. I can't remember who she's fighting, but anyway, she's like held
Snook. General Snook.
Snoke, and she's got her lightsaber out, but she's like similar to what happened with Arya with the Night King. She can't move that arm to get it, so
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
she
yeah.
drops it with her other free hand, and then attacks in the middle. That was fucking dumb.
When
Why was
that-
Arya? All right, hold on.
We were texting after, and I was in a legit state of like
Shock.
Yes.
Dumbfounded.
Me too.
Because sometimes
Mouth agape.
you know when you're
Yes.
really looking forward to a movie, and like especially as a kid, and then you have dreams that you want to see the movie. I remember as a kid, we were going to see like Ninja Turtles 2 in theaters the next day, and I had
Well,
a dream.
that's not disappointing.
I had a
You
dream
could
that
not
night-
have been disappointed with that.
No, I wasn't. But
'Cause I still love that movie.
the night before, I had this dream that we went to see, and it was like, oh, it was great. And then when I woke up, I was like, oh, has that ever happened?
You ever seen a turtle get down? Is that the first one?
No, that's the second one.
No, well, the second one's with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he says that right. Yeah.
Go,
Ninja, go, ninja, go, ninja, go, ninja, go. Babies! They're babies!
Shredder just throws up in his mask. I challenge.
Oh, and that actor who was the scientist.
Oh, David Warner.
Yeah, he's in like Quest of the Delta Knights, and then he's also in like Titanic, and he's like, and he's the Cardassian that
Yes.
tortures Picard.
Yeah.
I don't remember the episode exactly from TNG. but
Yeah, I like
anyway.
David Warner.
That guy's had quite a career.
He's
From,
just like in everything. So
he's like,
these
wow,
weird
he's
things.
fucking awesome. Like he's killing it in this scene, and then all of a sudden he's like, he's in the biggest piece of shit movie ever made.
He probably just goes by scripts. He says, "Yeah, this sounds good. I'll do this."
Actors got to work, man. I don't begrudge them that. I would love to be bad in some bad movies.
You would love to be bad in some bad
Yeah,
movies?
man. I don't care.
Remember in high school, I did like the recreation of Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah,
And I
I
did-
remember. I was in it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I gotta find that. Man.
I've been bad in bad movies already.
I should find that for the future.
We did a lot of projects. Anyway, we digress.
Yes.
We could have done a better job than this. That's the point. A lot of fans have come up with a lot of really good theories for a lot of things that
Yes.
these guys have fucked up.
Yes.
And I think we talked about this last time, where it's really sad when, like, fans are forced to justify.
They're coming up with theories of how she killed the Night King.
Like, oh, that makes sense. Like back in the Battle of the Frozen Lake.
Should we have to
Fans
do
had
that?
to fill the gap in. Well, the Night King
Why
was waiting
don't-
around because he's a green seer, maybe, and he knew the dragons were going to come, so that's why I did that.
Why
Well,
can't
fans
this-
should have to do that. Same thing with this
Yes.
fucking horse shit with
Show
the Night
us
King
why
dying.
she killed the Night King. How she just randomly
she
ended
get
up
back
behind
there?
them. People are coming up with the stupidest bullshit. Like
What
there's,
have you heard?
I saw a clip. There's like a shadow running through the crypts, and they're like, "Oh, this is Arya. This is Arya with a secret. She knows her way around Winterfell, and Winterfell has all these secret passages, and
it?
that's how she gets." Oh my god!
Well, the stupidest one I heard.
Don't hold my hand.
I don't hold my hand. This is difficult.
It's okay, boss.
Okay, this has got to stop.
We're touching each other now. That's what this
stupidest
episode has
one-
done to us.
The stupidest one I heard is that she wore a white.
Oh,
Face.
well, yeah, we talked about that. I laughed out loud when you texted that.
No, I
to me
read that
because
online. People saying
I know, and I believe that
Oh, yeah.
you did.
People
I thought it was
believe
hilarious
that.
because they turn to fucking ice cubes when they die. It doesn't
my
make any
coworker
sense.
said that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just.
That's
like,
not
oh my
possible.
God.
If a lot of things I read online are just written by 14-year-olds,
I hope so.
I think most things online
man.
are from 14-year-olds now.
because
Either that or I'm so out of touch.
No, I think
reality.
the popularity of the show reached a peak that a lot of people just started watching recently and never watched like.
Yeah, my
early on.
mother-in-law recently was like, "Oh, I think I'll start watching that Game of Thrones
See,
show
now-
now."
see, now that
And I
makes
was like,
more
"Okay."
sense.
And she's 70.
That makes more
But she's
sense.
gonna just start from the beginning, or is
Well,
she
I
just
said
gonna-
she should. I mean, if she wants to watch it,
'Cause I
she
think a lot of
shouldn't
people
just
don't.
jump in. That doesn't make any sense.
I think people just jump
Even in this extremely watered down, basic,
Turd
Michael
basic.
Bay-esque
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Michael Bay.
I don't know. I mean, there's no thought involved here. It seems.
And you're talking about theories. The one of the most. I mean, there's 1,000 frustrating things about this episode, but one thing is that these fucking garbage writers who are garbage and should die because they're garbage.
Wow.
That is how much
Boss was
they are
very
garbage.
mad about it.
Now that I got that out of the way, you could have just looked up theories. There's so many great theories people have. You don't have to do any work.
Yeah, but-
just look up
but for
what
them-
other fans have thought of,
But
and
for
do
them-
that, and get your fucking paycheck if you don't give a shit. Because this is not giving a shit. This what we saw.
It's
Okay.
shitting on the books. Oh, you're good at this restart.
See, but what? But they're not looking up fan theories because one, they wouldn't. They feel like they have
You
no reason
believe
to
any
because
horse
they think
shit
that
they
they're doing,
say? I don't.
No, I
You
believe
should
that
be,
they think
because
that
you
they
don't
did a
have
good
any
job.
talent.
Me? You talking to me?
No,
or?
the writers. They should be looking up fan theories.
No, I know, but they don't feel the need because they don't feel the insecurity.
so
They think that they're.
great.
That's what
Oh,
they think.
yeah.
That's what they
That's
think.
the
I'm
problem.
sure.
It's like the Walking Dead situation, where
Yeah.
after every episode,
They have Talking Dead, and they get to fucking talk about, give themselves blowjobs about how fucking good
Yes.
they did.
Same thing
Yeah.
with this.
That's I know.
Afterwards.
That's my point. That's my
Make your
point. Is
point.
that they. I
think he's
did. They
getting
don't need to
Dexter's
look
not
to
getting it at
fan
all.
theory or something because they're thinking, no, I'm gonna blow the fans away. Get ready for this. I'm a fucking genius sitting at their laptops typing away.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good. And then right when the flames burn the Night King, pull back for a wide shot and just wait for the flames to dissipate, and then he's smiling. Pure evil.
why?
I'm a genius.
Yeah, why?
That-
Why does Dragonfire not hurt him?
I don't know.
Because a woman used it on him.
it's
But
almost
is
like
the
it
dragon,
should
is the
be-
dragon a woman?
Why doesn't
It's almost like that should be explained to us.
It is
Oxnard.
never explained, and it doesn't matter now. This is what I'm
just
saying.
a cheap,
Doesn't matter.
when the
stupid
Night
surprise.
King is not destroyed by Dragonfire and just gives this toothless grin. Okay, and then moves on. All right, and then cut to Bran in the Godswood. He's been doing something irrelevant. Doesn't
He's
matter.
the bait, Dexter.
He's like, I'm going
We'll
to go.
talk about that.
I'm going to go somewhere else now. And then he's
Yeah.
like on a
See
beach
ya.
tanning somewhere.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what he's
Stupid
doing.
that is. That aspect of him using him as bait came up last episode.
Yes.
And Bran just brought it up right then and there. I feel like shouldn't you have brought this up that you're the target of the Night King?
But they didn't know. I'm going to get back to my point in a second. But they didn't know what to do. So they just said, all right, well, then Bran will be bait. They just like kind of had to, the writers, didn't know what to do. So they just came up with this idea to
But
try and lure him, to get the Night King to that spot so they could kill him.
Even if
That's
you,
the point.
Here's my issue. My huge issue is, okay, even if you don't know what to write, you're using Bran as bait. Usually there's a trap with bait.
Right. I kept waiting
There's
for
no trap.
Bran to do something.
It's a couple of archers in front of
Right.
a horde of infantry, undead zombies. This is good tactics. 3 archers.
But Bran didn't even do it. I kept waiting for a twist at the end. Even like, wow, is Bran suddenly going to have like a dagger made of dragon glass or Valyrian steel, or does he know something because what has he been up to? He's clearly been doing something. So what is it? So now,
so
whatever he's been
disappointing.
doing, it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? If in the next episode they bring it up and he's like, oh, it turned out that whatever with the Night King and blah, 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 and I went there, and meanwhile, while this was happening, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
It's irrelevant.
I
It doesn't
know,
matter.
yeah.
When I was watching
Like,
that,
what a
and
waste.
when Bran goes like, oh, I have to go, I really thought, oh god, please cut to like the shot of like a dire wolf running through, and
Or
looking,
a
and
dragon, maybe?
You see like packs of wolves that he's leading, and then
Yeah.
like something so
Could
cool
he
like
not
that.
have warged
could've
into the Night King's dragon? If
Here's the
not,
thing.
at least like Jon Snow's or Daenerys's or anything?
I think
I don't know.
people think that-
Other people? He could have controlled
People
other people.
think that they're gonna bring that up in the next episodes.
But that's my
I don't-
point.
and my
it
my
doesn't
point
fucking
is-
matter now.
I don't
yeah,
think they're
that-
bringing it up.
It's
that, and
irrelevant.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they are.
I think he did nothing.
I think they're done.
I
If
think that was
they're
it.
Done.
That's the
it.
thing.
Even in the previews to the next episode, I was like watching. I was like, "What the fuck are they even gonna do now?"
Right.
And it's just like, what? So they killed the Night King. The whole fucking series, the main thing since like back when they introduced Melisandre, and she's saying the War of the Five Kings. This is meaningless. Jon Snow repeatedly saying, "Doesn't matter. Sits on the Iron Throne when we're all dead.
Yeah.
The dead will all be fucking corpses." And then, it isn't cursed, but you know what I mean. And then, so okay, Iron Throne is irrelevant. It's the Great War. This is what matters most. After nothing else is more important than this. Let's put things into perspective. They spend seasons doing that, putting that into perspective. And then in the 3rd episode
Of the final season, after 2 years,
they wrap it all up as quickly as possible. Even though it's a long episode, but I mean, why was this one episode? I don't care if it's an extra half hour long. This is one episode, and then now it's just over. Moving on. Now we got like 3 more episodes.
The long night.
Of what?
The single.
of stuff I don't
This
really
is
know
something
night.
that's
if I
been
want to
like
watch.
10,000 years in the making, if you think about it. all the mystery going back to what created the Night King. The Night King's unstoppable. The dead are unstoppable. What do they even want? Why are they getting these sacrifices?
Yes.
All the mystery of are they the ones that created the wall? Why did they do it? Are they actually related to the Starks? There's 1,000 fucking things going back to lore based on a few paragraphs in George Martin's writing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boss
and
said,
it's so cool and dark and mysterious
Yeah.
and scary. And then they just said, nah, fuck that. And, oh, he's dead. Arya killed him. Surprise. What a shocking
Isn't that cool?
twist.
Isn't that cool that
oh,
Arya
that's
did
fucking
that?
badass,
Yeah,
huh?
you like that, right?
Yeah.
Just sucking that now with a spoon,
and now it's just
huh?
over.
You like that?
And Bran! What about Bran? What's the point of Bran now?
It's a part of a healthy diet. You gotta get some Bran.
I know, but I mean, he's useless. He's pointless. The whole thing is that he's the Blood Raven. For centuries, there's always been like I don't understand. I don't understand what Bran was doing. Why that character even exists. So because I have all knowledge in the world, so that's why he wants to kill me. Give me a fucking break. That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
That's why he wants to kill you? That's meaningless! He doesn't even care about that! And then to have the Night King, who's somebody who's never once in the entire series has shown an inkling of emotion. Mm-hmm. Not even like a blinking strangely or something like that. Even when he's at the end of Hardhome, when he just raises his hand, and it's even like you could even claim that that's like showing like a boastful act. Like he's showing ego by saying, "Oh yeah, thanks." It
might just be the way that spell
you
works.
have no, but it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, by its nature, like the body language and even like the dead expression in his face, you could even. I'm stretching it. You could even say, even if that was him showing off or something like
Right.
that, then to have him suddenly smirk in the way he did is like a fucking
really bothered
insult. It makes no fucking sense.
It doesn't.
That's like the most egregious thing. One of the most egregious things that happened. They made him into like a fucking cartoon. In that moment, it took away everything. Like all the mystery, all the thing. And instead, it might as well just be like a fucking slasher film. Oh, he's just like Michael Myers, who like, no matter what you do, he just slowly walks in and just kills everything. And
George Martin
can
has
he be
said-
stopped until fucking Jamie Lee Curtis pops in at the end and kills him?
Yeah. George Martin has said he hates the idea of like one big bad guy who's just evil for the sake of being evil.
Yeah.
He said that many
And
times.
well, they fucking ignored him.
Yeah, but I don't
the
understand
end-
why. There's so many ways you could have gone.
Anyway, I'm sorry for my rant, but
No, but it's true. Like why do they want the babies? What's going on up there? They show a shot of this grand fortress in one episode.
Yeah,
where
they did.
yeah,
What's
like
going
way
on
up
there?
north in the land of always winter, which is that's mysterious enough as it is, and he's holding the baby and he turns the baby.
It's on
Why?
a pedestal or something.
Like, do
Yeah,
they
it's
not,
like a sacrifice.
do they not
But
understand
why?
that most people watching are interested in that? Like that's the main reason. I
That
was
was
watching
my
the show.
favorite stuff of the show too.
Yeah.
And now that's just gone. And I honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like watching it.
All
Me
the stuff-
neither.
Me
I
either.
don't either.
Because what's the point?
The plot's over. The main plot's over.
That's what I mean. They fucked up by this. They built it up for the whole season and saying for 10,000 years this has all kind of been leading to this, and the now the long night's going to come back. We have to stop it.
And
This
it-
is all that matters. And then in this episode, they just wrapped it up. So now, by extension, everything else after this is pointless, kind of in a way.
Now it's
it
like,
has
oh, no,
less
wait.
meaning. So this should have been like the last two episodes should have been. Like the second to last
have been
episode
at
should have
King's
been
Landing.
this episode,
have been at
but
King's
not
Landing.
killing the Night's
been
King.
so many other
and then it
things.
extends into the last episode, and then they wrap up the battle.
You could have Sam-
and then they wrap up the stuff with the Iron Throne.
You could have
and
Sam
Jon.
at King's Landing, the Night King's moving in, and maybe Sam's going through the books in the Citadel, and he just finds something, a clue to something, and they consult Bran,
Yeah.
and they realize, like, oh, this is what they need, and then they start explaining, maybe not everything about the North, but just give us little bits and pieces about why this, and then they make some... Maybe Jon has to do something in front of the Night King, almost like...
Whip his dick out.
no,
Yeah.
like
Take a look at
like
this.
approaching him like...
Jealous much?
Like without a sword or something, and
Yeah.
make an offer or something.
Yeah.
And then you find that, oh, that's what they want.
No,
It's like,
you know all the stuff that was leading into like, oh, there has to be a Night King, kind of, or like this person will become the next Night King, like because there's so much mystery about why that's there, and there always has to be a Stark in Winterfell. Why? Why is there always there's always a Stark at the Wall almost? They set it up in the show at least.
Yeah.
I can't recall exactly from the books, but there's always like Benjen Starks there. We know there's been how many Starks have been at the Wall? I'm sure there's been so many. I don't know.
You saw The Arrival, right?
Oh yeah, with the Danielle Nouveau movie, whatever that's the French director made.
Yeah, the alien one.
Yeah, with Amy Adams and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
obviously it's so easy to go, oh, the whites are evil, this and that. Now it's obvious that's where they were going the whole time. But I always thought the coolest thing would have been is it's all a huge misunderstanding, that there's an agreement that was made. Same thing with Walder Frey.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's something in the past, and then that's what's uncovered, and then
That's
they realize,
kind of what was already set up. Like,
yeah, it's
something
like dealing with an alien race that seem evil, but it's just
and like they
they're not.
couldn't, and like now, but like and like why now are they doing this suddenly?
Yes.
Why now? After 10,000 years or so.
Yeah, I
After
don't
thousands of years.
understand
Why this moment?
the
And then
motivation.
so like maybe because that there's a lot of magic is coming back to the world. After the doom of Valyria, magic disappears really, and the dragons start to go away until they basically become extinct, until Daenerys has the eggs and all this kind of stuff. And now when the Red Comet comes back and you see Melisandre, there's a lot of magic, a resurgence of magic.
Yeah, that could have been a really cool
in this
direction.
world. And so now that's what gives the Night King, or whatever, and the Whites, that now there's a resurgence of them and this opportunity, and they're saying, hey, we had a deal here, maybe something's going on and something's amiss, and so now they're here to collect.
Yes.
Or is it like they were only going to do it until now they have their chance to make another move? We don't know. We'll never know.
The one issue I have is I'm looking at like these justifications for why Arya was supposed to kill the Night King and all these clues and shit.
Just look, I can't tell what the hell's going on here. Sorry, boss.
But one thing that pisses me off, the way that they did this,
Don't even look at
it doesn't just make this, I guess, wildling or White Walker offensive stupid, or this Long Night stupid. It makes the other Long Night not make any sense.
Like, how did they not take care of this?
Because
nip it in the bud.
Let's think, how could they have possibly beat this last time? People are saying, when they killed the White Walkers last time. If they killed the White Walkers last time, if they killed the Night King last time, there wouldn't be a Night King.
Right.
And this
Right?
This Night King is definitely...
So they didn't kill
original.
them
He's
the
the
last
original
time.
This is definitely the original
There's
guy.
no way they stopped
You see his transformation.
the undead army last time.
No way.
So there was no beating the White Walkers if there was a last time.
That's-
and the show
that's what's
makes
so
it obvious.
disappointing.
That's what's so stupid. That's why this makes it so stupid. Is
It's
it makes
supposed
the
to be-
past not make any sense.
But there's more. Here's more that makes it stupid about the actual killing of the Night King. Arya doesn't know that Valyrian still kills the Night King, does she?
Probably does by now. I would think so.
Or Dragon Glass.
No, I would think so.
She knows that Dragonglass does, but
No,
does she know that Valyrian still does?
I would think they all
I'm sure
do.
she would have learned it. But,
No,
the
but-
thing
But
is,
see,
I don't know.
we don't know.
We don't know.
I'm sure she would have. That's what we have to say.
They
we
all
have to
probably
make
know that.
assumptions.
Yeah, the show would rather.
I think
and
that's
I understand
a small
the complexity.
assumption. I don't think it's a big leap to make that assumption.
There's a thing. I know people put a lot of hard work into the show and all this. This is purely the writer's problem.
This is exactly.
But when it with the
And
production
this
and
is
the
a very
effects,
we're in a luxurious position where we have nice
Yeah.
lives where we can watch a popular show, and sit back and talk
Yeah.
about it, even though hundreds and hundreds of people spent many
Yeah.
man hours working on. I'm not saying that it's not well made
Yeah.
or well produced.
It's really well
These are just
made.
nerdy ass gripes.
yeah,
Awesome effects
from people
and
who read the
stuff,
book and
but-
expected the story, and
but
also invested 8 years of their life watching
Yes.
the show.
Yeah.
And you just were hoping for a better payoff. But the other thing is like you have all these actors, so sometimes you do have scenes that seem pointless, but you have to remember they have a contract and actors want a certain amount of face time.
It's not, and also it's not the actor's fault that
Yeah.
this is the story. They're not writing.
But that's why
it.
it seems like, remember, boss, like some scenes, it's two characters talking, and it's like, what was the point of that? Like, they could have
Yeah.
spent it showing us
Yeah.
reasons for that. That's why. It's just.
We also don't know what was cut out. You know what I mean? And why things like that.
And
And they're not making decisions.
My-
They're not making it thinking this will piss everybody off.
No.
They think they're honestly making something
The-
very good.
the problem is, it looks great, but
gotta
I
say, it
could
doesn't
not
look- I
I could
can't see
not
anything.
appreciate it at all because the writing was so stupid.
And you can't. It looks great.
So it
from
doesn't
what I
matter
can
how
see.
great it. I know. Honestly, that didn't
I
bother
have
me.
a
The
four-
fog. The
four-
fog didn't bother me because I wanted when the White Walkers came. I wanted there to be like winter.
No, I understand that.
So it
I
didn't bother me
understand
at
the
all.
purpose of it. I agree with you to an extent.
It was annoying
I
you couldn't see
understand the
things,
purpose, but
but
I
it
want
doesn't
to
bother
be
me.
able to watch it. I want to watch that the characters can't see.
Yeah.
I want to be able to see as an audience member what's happening.
Right.
Yeah, you could. Actually, this is.
Unless it's devised to
This is-
to make as like a thing
Making
to
you
create
feel like you're
suspense or
there.
making you feel that.
Yeah.
But But it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
This is an hour and a half long episode. 45 fucking minutes at least is in a blizzard. You know what I mean?
They should have had it
And
take
that's
place
what it
in like
seems.
the early morning, and this is straight from Lord of the Rings when Sauron's army marches Minas
Yeah, but
Tirith.
look at
he
Helm's
sends
Deep.
out the clouds.
But when
and
you
stuff.
I'm going to bring it up to compare it only because that's what they have done. The people who worked on the show, like the guy who directed it or somebody claimed that like, oh, they looked to Helm's Deep for inspiration and all this stuff. That's like the pinnacle of this kind of battle scene or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and even that is like. And that whole battle scene is intercut with other slower scenes where you see like Merry and Pippin at the Entmoot and all kinds of shit going on or whatever, and they come back to it. So there's all kinds of like pacing things. This episode is just only about really this one battle, everything that's happening at Winterfell instead of Helm's Deep. But Helm's Deep is in the pouring rain for a lot of it. It's a chaotic battle scene. There's a long standoff in the beginning.
I think Helm's
all
Deep
the
is
drama.
better.
Helm's Deep is oh my
Way
god! Of
infinitely
course
better.
it's better.
Way better.
But I'm saying you can fucking clearly see what the fuck is happening.
As well
and you
paced
get
as,
and you get that there's an element of weather that is impeding the battle. Still, you know what I mean?
And it has set pieces, like the wall blowing up is a big set piece. When they go up the ramp.
But never once is my like view as an audience member obstructed in the way that
It's very
someone
clear what's
fighting's
going on.
would be because of the rain. You know what I mean?
But if the goal was to make this look chaotic,
And it's also too much fucking jump
yeah,
cutting.
you succeeded, but that might have been the wrong way to go about
Like,
doing
I don't know. I kept thinking, how do they not stab themselves and each other the entire time when they're fighting somebody who's dead? Like, people constantly getting. The other thing that was very confusing was, like, it's a
Strategically,
wave of, like, this wave of dead people coming at you, right? And the Unsullied just, they stick their spears out, and then they're immediately overrun, and they're killed. And then, like, Sam.
It's World War Z.
Yeah,
That's
and
all
then
it was.
Sam, like several times, and Brienne, and many characters are overrun, Tormund, with like 3, 4, 5, 6 dead on them or whatever, and then somebody just comes up and just starts
Jamie
randomly
has
slashing
shitload
at
on-
them.
Yeah.
Yeah! And then the person gets up like, oh, thanks. How the fuck did they not get slashed or really damaged at all? Or stabbed themselves?
There were so many
I
shots
don't
of
understand.
a-
Oh, and I
character.
hate this when Arya shoots. Hold on. I just saw it. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw Arya shoots
that
a
was so
white
dumb.
behind the hound, and he looks to her on the. You're gonna
Was she
see
sick?
her? You're actually gonna find her and stop.
Also,
You're gonna horde behind you. All right, go on.
Arya
sorry.
is
I'll tell you.
actually considering shooting the hound in that moment?
I felt. Doesn't it make you feel like
What the fuck?
they think we're stupid?
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's scare them. They're gonna make. Let's. Make
Is
it seem
Arya
like-
actually going to do this? I was like, if she does this, that's fucking stupid.
I mean, I'm scared that the show would be that stupid to do that. No, but I was gonna say. I forgot.
Oh, sorry. What were we talking about before?
Oh,
jump
I was
cut,
just
yeah.
there were so many shots of characters in immediate danger,
Yes.
and they just cut away. And then you get back to
yeah.
them, and I guess, oh, okay, they're fine. But you see Brienne and Jamie against the wall, cut away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And what the fuck is his name? Sam was on the ground, sad twice.
Did Sam kill a
Two different
single...
locations.
He did, actually.
Did he?
Yeah,
I
in
couldn't
the
tell.
chaos there.
And they even told him, don't come out, you got to
Okay,
go down
well-
the crypts.
The funny thing about not having fire to light this is there's cauldrons lit all around
Yeah.
the castle.
It needs to be dragon fire.
Pick up a cauldron.
No, that was the plan. And then
throw it.
Melisandre comes out to light it, and she fucking takes her sweet ass time.
Well,
let
I think-
me fucking tiptoe out here.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? And why wasn't the whole fucking field ablaze from the beginning?
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, why wouldn't you light that
it
in the
up?
beginning?
Light it up.
And it's just like
thing-
300.
Have-
make
have
a
fucking
make
fire.
a funnel
Yeah.
for all the dead to go through. You got all these spearmen.
I
have
sent you guys.
fire out there, and
Yeah.
I would be launching. I mean, we talked about they should be using wildfire. I think I said, why aren't they using? Why Tyrion knows about wildfire. They should have fucking catapults filled with
start
wildfire.
with-
A bunch of them were in that battle.
Catapult bombs with dragon glass. I don't know what's in the fucking what they're trebucheting or catapulting over there. And then they
Flaming rocks.
do it like they do like 1 or 2 volleys,
Yeah,
and
why
then
don't
they
you-
and then they stop it.
Yeah,
And
why
that's
don't
it.
you use your siege
The
weapons
field-
before you send your cavalry in, which
Yeah.
was ridiculous anyway.
They should have had like and trenches out there, a series of trenches.
The article I sent you
out there and
is
all
this guy,
on fire, so they could actually see. So that when the Dothraki charge, they don't randomly charge blindly into the night, so that suddenly they're
and
Didn't make any
endless
sense. Now I'm sorry, I'm
with
rambling.
the
I'm
tactics,
getting crazy.
which I don't think we should get into the tactics because there's so many problems. It's just
Sorry,
obvious.
Oxnard, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was going to talk about tactics.
Go ahead.
Go.
No.
Talk what you want.
Don't listen to him. We should be. Why wouldn't we talk about tactics?
The article I sent.
Welcome to
Yes.
tactics.
It was just these two military experts commenting on what they should have done. And first one they said is like, put the trench further away.
Definitely.
Keep your troops behind the trench. Don't make a situation where now we have to retreat behind the trench.
Yeah.
That's stupid. The light cavalry at front, whoever, I don't even know if the Dothraki just got hepped up and they just charge on their own, or someone said go charge.
Why did they charge?
I don't know, but light cavalry, if you ever play Total War, you keep them on the sides, and then when the units attack,
Flanking.
They
use
go
a
around.
flank.
you go around, you
Yeah.
flank, and that's what you do. It's just stupid. The way it was arranged just didn't make
Now,
sense.
see, this is my thing. They only did things because it looked cool, right?
Yeah, but it didn't look that cool.
Right.
I
looked
thought it looked
stupid.
kind of cool in the night
thought
when
the
you can
torches
see
looked cool.
when you can see the torches
But
moving from afar,
but
and then
it was
I
so
did think,
frustrating because it was so dumb.
and it was
like-
dumb, but I did think it looked cool when you could see all the flames going out,
Yes.
like
Right.
in the distance, because that's like kind of spooky. But it was kind of undercut by the fact that
What is
they shouldn't
Daenerys
have been
doing?
doing that, and it made no sense why they were doing that.
Hey, there's John on the wall. He could have lit that fire.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Fire.
He's right there.
Yeah.
If only I was riding something that created fire.
Like the hottest
too bad
fire.
I'm stuck on this giant horse.
yeah.
I knew things were going awry when Cersei started that weird line. She was disappointed they didn't have elephants. That should have
Yeah.
been the clue. It was like, why?
Because they spent all the money on this episode.
How?
Yeah.
It's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
How do you not have enough money, HBO?
But
Just give
I
them.
bet you, I'm telling you, this episode must have cost a fortune, and you can't fucking see half of it.
Yeah. No, if you
2/3
notice, I
of
have a
it.
4K television, and it's like the blends of the grays you can see. That's how dark it
It's
is.
too dark.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I get that you're trying to make it so, it's a blizzard, here comes the Night King, and atmosphere, and then also that it's another like thing that then when Davos is swinging the flames, the dragons can't see them, so now that's an impediment to their plan, and they can't light the trenches quickly enough as they wanted to. But that's fucking stupid. That
One line.
one line.
Yeah,
Varys.
Varys says,
But-
at least we're all already in the
okay,
crypt.
you can still do that. You can still do all that and allow the audience member to be able to see what the fuck is going on.
It's called shooting day for night. You know, when it
Oh,
looks,
yeah.
That Castaway did it perfectly. You'd never know if most of all the night scenes of Castaway are shot day for night.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how good they were on that. But there's ways to do it, and you can still, Castaway, it's night. Obviously, on
mean, there's-
in real life, you'll be completely pitch black.
Even if they filmed at night, but I mean, they purposely lit it dark.
Yeah, you
If
gotta
you're
let
looking,
your
that's what I mean.
audience know.
Again, if they're talking so much about Helm's Deep is the pinnacle of this kind of fight scene and whatever, well, they didn't. You could see every fucking detail in Helm's Deep.
The only
in the
thing
battle,
that they seem
and it
to
takes
use-
place at night, and they filmed at night.
Yeah.
and they filmed in pouring rain. They simulated it, but I mean, nevertheless, there's actual rainwater coming down on them.
Yeah.
and there's not that fucking problem. That's bullshit.
Seems
You
like the
can't
main thing they
fucking
took-
see what's happening.
The main thing they took was just shots of the people in the crypts, like looking scared and looking around.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
And
the only-
it was,
And
it
how
was,
is Sansa
it
not
was funny.
actually
No, it was
accosted
funny
by
because
relatives?
every time they show Varys and he doesn't talk, it seems like he really wants to talk.
He's like, yeah,
just like-
I have something to say.
The lines.
man.
You know that actor's there going, oh, God, fine, let's get this
Plus,
through this.
Varys
One line this week? Okay, but I'm going to say this line really well.
Varys in the earlier seasons,
least we
Varys
are
is
within
one of the best characters in the show. He's one of my favorite characters. He's got so many great lines. Like, he's funny, but he's also
gash.
like devious.
Got a gash.
Yeah, my gosh. No, but I mean, like, he's a great storyteller in the show. Like, he's so good.
He wears the
And
disguises.
then once basically, I guess when Martin leaves, I don't know, from the show, like as other things start to develop, he becomes less and less and less and less, and he's just pointless. Mm-hmm. He's just there
He's just
because
there.
they didn't kill him off. He goes away on missions
It'd be funny if they were.
to do what?
But maybe,
what
like-
did he even do when he left Marine? I don't even remember.
He would tell it. Remember
Then
that
he
one
just
season? He was like
appears on,
teleporting.
next to Daenerys on the ship at the end.
He's
Where the fuck
teleporting.
were you?
They
follows him
teleports.
around.
That's the other issue.
And then
people
Theon,
teleporting.
now Theon's here again, and they all die pointlessly, defending Bran for no reason at all, basically. And then Bran basically goes, Theon, Thanks, time to die now.
Oh,
You're a
man.
good
And then he
man.
What
runs
the
at him
fuck?
with the spear. It's hilarious. The way he
Why
runs.
did that happen?
Here
the
I
exact sound he
go.
Why did he do that? It was like, I think they tried to set it up like he has to, no, like it was like basically like, I appreciate that you're sorry for what you did to me and what you did to like the Starks and what you did to Winterfell, but you have to die and this is your death
This
sentence.
is how dumb-
But it doesn't make any fucking
Yeah.
sense. I was like, why is he charging? At least make the Night King come to you.
Like,
Like
the Night
stand
King
ready
could
to
be-
defend
If
yourself.
the Night King's that easily killed, I think Theon could have done it just by pretending to stab.
What about
and
look at Jorah Mormont's move from the fighting pits?
Yeah, do a tumble.
Should have done a tumble.
Apparently, you can just fake out the Night King. I thought it was like some ever-present, like he saw through the eyes of all the other whites, and it was like this mass hive mind, and so, one-on-one fight would be impossible. But no, apparently, and a little magic trick, and was he stabbed in the stomach or the leg? Because I thought
Stomach.
Okay, to me it looked like the leg.
No, he was like in the
That made me
in the
even angrier.
midsection, in the torso or
Okay.
midsection area. Yeah, I didn't, and it's the same thing. Like, why did like the whole thing with Jon Snow, like charging the Night King?
He's the prince.
I
that was
didn't
promised.
understand
He's
that-
he doesn't fight one white.
I
the
didn't
whole
understand that
episode.
they didn't have a fight there. I mean, I could understand that he's raising the dead, but like I thought Jon Snow was going to show up much earlier than he did
Why?
when she's blasting him with the fire. Like, get
Right.
a little bit closer. You know what I mean?
Why is the Night King on the dragon? Because
I mean, why wouldn't he be on the dragon?
Because
though?
if I were him-
I had no problem with that.
Oh, I had a problem because I'm like, you
fell off the
he can
dragon.
throw a javelin. Like I would have had him hiding in the woods.
Oh, that
Yeah,
too.
but why? But why didn't he just fly the dragon? And all right, the castle's being overrun. Now I'm gonna come in, fly my dragon, go right for the Godswood.
But why does he need to fly the dragon if he controls all the undead? Can he just control the dragon on the ground?
Oh, that
Why
makes
does he
sense.
need-
Oh,
that's
that's
true.
true.
Why does he
That's
need
true.
to mount it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
point.
Like even the Night King's doing
Yeah.
stupid shit.
That's a good point. And he's smiling the whole time.
I'm gonna use for the thumbnail that picture I texted
Oh
you.
yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, that's exactly how I felt.
I want to see an edit. You probably see the picture now if you look at the screen. It's the Night
picture?
King with goofy teeth.
Oh.
But
Oh
if
my
someone-
God,
someone
it's
can
fucking-
edit
it's
like the whole series
ridiculous.
to make them look like that. That'll be great.
But also
Some
notice.
touching that thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I screwing the
Oh,
microphone?
no, it might be.
Sorry. I was playing with the wire for the microphone when I was
Big
talking.
mistake.
Also, like, the Night King looks different every fucking episode he's in. Have you noticed that?
Well,
It's
this
like
episode he had super neon eyes. That I noticed. He didn't have such bright eyes the other
Because
episode.
you got look at those sinister blue eyes.
They were like glowing.
Ooh, that creepy
They
eye.
were like spotlight eyes.
that was a
creepy.
there was an old when we were kids. There was an old CBS like promo spot, like in the commercials or whatever, and it'd be like CBS, whatever, and it was Letterman, and then he was just standing in like a white room, like almost like an Apple commercial thing, and then you just see the CBS logo, and you go CBS. Ooh, that creepy eye. Anyway, pointless, but
You know what pissed me
that
off?
stuck with me. I loved Letterman.
As
Oh,
soon
Letterman's
as
great.
they had Arya in that like library
I
and it was
hate
silent,
Arya.
immediately hated that.
Yeah. What?
How
But
is
it
there
wasn't-
any silence here?
It wasn't though. It wasn't that silent because you can hear them moving around and they're all dragging their weapons.
There's thousands of zombies.
No, I agree with you. But now listen to this. This is what's more disturbing to me. I agree with you completely.
Was there a pause?
right.
Did people took an intermission
In the
outside?
crypts, they can hear shit.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
crypts.
She's in one of the little towers there,
Yeah.
right?
And so she's in the little library there.
be
right?
deafening everywhere.
And she's sneaking around, but they make a point of like, oh, the dead is so scary, like setting a tone for the atmosphere, like of the scene. And so like you hear like the armor jangling around, and like one walker is like dragging their weapon on the ground, scraping the sword, the steel on the stone floor, or whatever. And then so you can hear like the noise that they're making. Then she's hiding under a table, and a drop of blood hits the floor, and a walker goes. Like immediately turns their head to her attention,
Like
they
right-
can fucking smell like fucking Walking Dead over here.
It's right out of Spider-Man, the first one. Remember?
No,
Spider-Man, he's hiding on the ceiling, and he drop of blood or sweat hits the ground, and like
Oh.
the person turns around and hears it.
yeah. Ever since Mission Impossible, that's been a big thing.
Liquids dripping on the floor and being noticed.
But
man.
like, what the fuck? I'm like, how the fuck did he hear that over like his own noise and then the noise that everyone else is making around him? Let alone what's happening outside that we can't hear. That pissed me off. And then the fact that she's like under the table, and then that guy actually makes it over to her, and then looks under there. That didn't make any fucking
But because
sense.
she's like a god, like a master sneaker,
Well, why didn't she just put on a face of a walker that she killed or something like that?
I don't know.
Or not even
thought
a
it
walker,
was-
maybe of like one of the other undead.
I thought it was funny when
It doesn't make any fucking
the
sense.
Hound was having like his fear of fire come back, and what the fuck?
Barrick
is it?
Dondarrion.
Yeah, Barrick's like, "Hey, what's the matter?" Waving his sword around. What's the matter, Hound? Huh? Is something
Are you
wrong?
afraid of fire or
Oh, I
something?
can't see your face. Here.
yes, you know.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, it's kind of dark in here. Let me light this place
Like,
up.
you've seen it all at this point. You've seen it all. Now you're afraid of this still? I didn't understand that.
Because
even.
that's the only
Like-
character trait that the writers remember.
I don't.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna have Game Bowl now, right?
Oh, you definitely. Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Total fan
Who gives
service.
a fuck?
I don't care.
I don't care at all. It's not really because
I don't care. I was
he's a
hyped.
fucking zombie.
I was at once. There was once where I was really excited about Game Bowl.
Yeah,
I could care less now.
because nothing else that happens after this is as important.
No.
That's by design. They
look
they
at this.
went
Sam
and
is
they
being
knowingly
ravaged.
did that.
Sam's
They
really
said this is the most important episode of the series. Basically, that's how they set it up. And now everything else that happens after this is less important. So I don't feel as invested.
No.
Aside from forget that, even if I didn't like the episode, which obviously I didn't, but forget all that going into it. The fact that the writers and the showrunners set it up so that this was the most important thing that happens in the whole fucking series, and they did it as the third episode of a 6-episode season, doesn't make any sense. Because naturally, everything that comes after that is less meaningful. So that's it. Why wouldn't you have this? This should have been, if anything, like the penultimate episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Like,
then you wrap it up.
If not the season finale, the series finale, then fine. It's the episode before that, and then you can have the series finale wrap things up, and then like the final. And they should have still had stuff going on with King's Landing and everything, so that you don't lose any of the gravitas of that. You know?
How do you think the intro is going to change next week now that they don't have the little blue tiles marching down? What is it going to be?
Oh, I don't know. Who fucking cares? That's what I mean.
I know George Martin. He likes the idea of like a scouring of the Shire kind of scenes in
Yeah.
movies and books. So maybe they'll do something like that.
So, this is one thing we kind of talked about, like, already privately. But do you think the theory that the Night King is going to come back?
Oh,
What are your
I
thoughts?
mean,
I don't see.
honestly, I don't see how that is actually possible, but I hope he does.
Or no, you know what they're going to do? Like, oh wait,
And I will
now
hate.
there's a void,
I will,
and there has
I
to
will,
be another Night
I will
King.
hate any stupid ass reason that he does come back, but I still hope
What
that it
about
happens.
this with Lyanna Mormont?
No, hold on though. This
Oh.
was we just saw this other scene where Arya's killing. She kills like 20 whites, and then she's sneaking around her library with like 5, and she's like scared out of her mind. I don't
Also,
know, I just
all
had to
that whole thing to
point
make
that out.
have Gendry make this special weapon. It was like 2 episodes of hounding him to make this fucking
Yeah.
weapon. Did you make my weapon yet?
Yeah.
Did you make my weapon yet? Oh no. Oh, here it is. Oh, good. And it's like some spear. Like I said, what it would do, it just disconnects, but it wasn't like connected by a chain or anything.
Well,
And
so-
she loses it after 2 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
So who cares? It was just some ploy so she could get close enough to bang him.
Yeah.
I don't know what the point of it was.
to bang him.
There you
No,
go.
the Lyanna Mormont.
I mean,
what's her name? Lyanna,
If
right?
anyone
Yeah.
should have survived, it should have been Lyanna Mormont.
My favorite sound effect of this episode was her going ah! when the giant hit her with the flail. Was fucking hilarious, that sound. But
All right.
what did you think? The giant was cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not downing the giant. I love giants. I love undead giants. It's the first
But
undead giant.
one giant?
Exactly. One giant.
No undead mammoths, no
Come on.
ice
Spiders.
no
mammoths.
Ghost is there for a second.
White Walkers fighting? Why not? It's crazy
John,
enough to happen.
John fighting a white. You know?
John didn't do a fucking thing in this episode.
It's amazing to me how Daenerys and John do nothing.
I had no problem with Lyanna Mormont and how like that giant was killed at all.
Yeah,
I thought that was actually really
I
cool.
think
I
that was
liked it.
fine.
I liked it.
I hoped it was.
Yes,
I'm sad that
I
there
didn't have any
wasn't
problem with that.
more giants. Like in the,
I thought that was good.
Like, at least, okay, so they don't have, like, the White Walkers and stuff, like, riding, like, massive ice spiders and everything, like, all the Lovecraftian horrors that, like, George Martin has kind of weaved into the fabric of his storylines
Tapestry.
and everything. Yes, exactly.
Old man's old.
No, but I mean,
hands.
like, you know, in the lore and everything, like, he really has, like, so it's so well done in the writing, like, the stuff that he set up that he hasn't even really addressed yet in the show.
Yeah. This is my favorite shot. The shot of the two dragons above the clouds.
Yeah, because you could see it.
Yeah.
It was like a relief for my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're above the fucking storm. I can see.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But it looked like a good wallpaper for a.
And why don't these other dragons blow fire?
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck? A dragon fight and only one
How-
of them is using their fire on another dragon?
Can they not fly one way and shoot their fire behind them or something? I don't know.
Think about what happens to John. He falls out of the sky hundreds of feet on the back of a dragon, lands, he's fine. He gets up, the Night King raises the dead, he's surrounded, cut away,
Yeah.
and when you cut back, he's fine. He's running around
Yeah.
Winterfell
How the fuck did he get through all that shit?
with a
Are you
dragon
kidding me?
blowing fire. He's dodging it with split-second precision.
Oh, there's flames like just like inches away from his face.
Yeah, that was a shot. But
Very cool shot.
they call it plot armor. It's just like,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid anything bad's going to happen. You think about what happened to Tyrion. He gets his face half cut off in the books.
But even in the show, I mean, we talked about that. I was disappointed with that. As I was disappointed, even like another similar thing. I don't know why shows hold back on this stuff. In the Punisher, the Jigsaw character, like it's a character that I won't get into the whole thing, whatever about it, but it's one of the Punisher's friends, right? He knows him. He shreds his face up, right? Like basically in the show, it's all on broken glass or whatever, and his face is completely fucked up. He's called Jigsaw for a reason because his face
likes
is
puzzles?
all fucked up. Like a jigsaw puzzle. You know?
I don't get it.
And his mind, too. He's all fucked up.
I don't understand.
Anyway, in the show, the scarring is like nothing compared to what I imagined it was going to be. I was very excited to see that.
It'll be
character.
tough.
You don't
because
It was the
see it
same
anymore.
thing and with Tyrion, it was the same thing. In the book, he has like no nose.
Yeah, you would have to put like a little blue screen or something over his face. It would be too much for
so
the
what?
CGI.
No, so what? That's too much. Are you fucking kidding
Could've
me?
made it more gruesome
He's got to
at
walk around,
least.
put a spot of. They don't even have to do that. Just a little bit more makeup. I mean, I don't even understand rewatching the episode of the Battle of the Blackwater. I don't understand what the guy was even doing that was trying to kill Tyrion. Like,
remember-
was he like falling backwards?
No, that was one of their own armies. Someone.
Yeah, I
had
know.
sent
It
him
was
to
a
get
gold
killed.
cloak. I know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he was clearly ordered to kill him. So why doesn't he do a better job?
Maybe they
of
don't want
slicing-
to. Part of him was like.
No, but here again, you have to fucking speculate. He gets a little fucking. I mean, all said and done, it's a fucking scratch on his face. In the books, his face, he's mangled. He's even more like he wasn't good looking to begin with. The character Tyrion. You know what I mean? Now he's like really hideous.
It looks like a little monster. Yeah.
Yeah, his mouth is fucked up. Like, his nose is fucking mostly gone. It's insane. Like, I understand that you have to look at this character for the rest of the series. They didn't want to do too much, but they could have done a little bit more.
Right.
A little bit more of a deeper... But, I mean, that right there is another indication of how they were going to, like, fucking... Even with something as small as that.
But I do find like I really dislike Arya. She's like
Oh, now
my
I
least
hate her too,
favorite
yeah.
character.
Oh, yeah, and
yeah.
she's one of my favorite characters in the books and in
Yeah.
the show leading up to... Really leading up to when her time with the
it's
in the
like-
House of the Black and White.
It's this
Because,
smugness and this swagger, and it's
Yeah,
like she's
because
good at
she
everything.
leaves the House of the Faceless Men with this attitude like, I'm the fucking shit. I'm the cock of the walk now.
Shiznit.
And
Cock of the
it was
walk.
a miserable time for her, and she really didn't do... We don't even see how the fuck she ended the waif. She just cuts out the candle.
Yeah.
Like, how all of the sudden does she have fucking, like, superpower assassin abilities?
Even the setup with like Walder Frey, like how'd she set that up?
How the fuck? How'd she bake all the whole fucking pie?
Yeah, kill two members of the family into the pie. Like, it's just
I don't understand.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what the show's become. It's more like a Hollywood schlocky.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
like,
here's the
wouldn't
setup.
this be cool?
Here's the payoff.
This is cool.
But
Yeah.
we're not going to explain the logistics.
Right,
of it.
exactly.
That's for you to figure out.
Yeah. And it makes you feel it's disheartening, and it kind of feels like they're insulting your
Yeah,
intelligence.
and
a
it
little bit.
did end up becoming too much of just like a zombie
Really
horror
feels
thing,
like
and that,
they're insulting our intelligence.
and that when Arya's
But
in the study or the library
it's-
or whatever,
it's
it's
worse-
just a fucking zombie flick.
It's worse than them making it feel like they're insulting our intelligence. It's the fact that it seems like they don't care.
Well, no, they're getting
if we
paid.
know
they're
that
getting
they
their
suck.
money,
and
and
they are insulting our intelligence.
Well, yeah, they it's obvious they don't care what people think.
the show
the
is just a
problem.
gravy train, just like
stop
The Walking
caring.
Dead became like a huge moneymaker, and they're working on spin-offs already. HBO.
They're done with this.
They're gonna
they're-
start milking
which
this.
I was excited about,
Yeah, but
but
now,
now
you know what it's
but
gonna
now
be.
I'm not because but I was excited about it because I believe the first one was supposed to be 10,000 years before this takes place, so it's
Yeah,
about
but-
the first
yeah.
men and the Andals
The Azor Ahai,
and
it's
and the
Age of Heroes.
You're right, and all that stuff. So I was like, "Oh, that's good." More stuff like backstory about the lore and like
know what'll happen,
what's going
though?
on in the land of always winter and all this kind of stuff, and how
It'll-
the wall gets created. And now it's fucking meaningless.
Yeah.
Meaningless now with this bullshit episode.
They will start them out and it'll be great, but they can't finish it. It's
They
it's
have
like
Lost
it's just
syndrome.
yes. It's like that's what I thought when I watched the episode. I said this is Lost.
Well, guess
I
what?
am watching Lost.
Damon Lindelof.
They
of
have
Lost
failed
is gonna
to
do it again to the Watchmen.
They have failed.
Really?
Yep.
They have failed to write themselves to an ending that makes sense.
That's
But
satisfactory.
this is
Alright.
the other thing that kind of makes me nervous.
Because it just like Lost, you just tease at people's curiosity. Humans,
teasing
people
them.
are curious by
Yeah,
nature,
tease.
Right.
So we just make up things
We're curious
that
beasts.
make you curious, and you want to know why. You want answers. You think, oh, it must be so cool why this happens. I want to figure it out and learn more.
Four-toed statues.
But then it's over, and they explain nothing.
Smoke monsters.
and
Right.
and
Oh, that was just the guy's brother, Jacob's.
you're
Sorry,
supposed to
spoiler
just
alert.
come up with stupid bullshit excuses for why they didn't explain something. It's just it is.
But that's what I mean. And then like
it is like
they just sweep everything else under the rug. You know what I mean?
it is
We'll only
offensive.
answer
It's
a
like
couple of the big things.
you are just
kind of.
taking advantage
Yeah.
of people's curiosity. It's like it's disgusting. Really.
If they
It's-
really had that
is
much,
Lost
if they
syndrome.
had that much trouble with it, which they clearly did. they
email
should've-
us.
They should have. No, but I mean, like you said, like look at fan theories. Okay, but I mean, forget all that. Talk to George R. R. Martin. I mean, just he doesn't have to like make it that this is what I'm going to do in the books.
Go
because
on
he
a
might
chat
not
room.
even-
Go on Reddit.
he might not even fully know. You know what I mean? Like you have an idea, like an outline and a skeleton of
Go to
what
a
your
comic book
of what your
store.
story is going to be. But as you're writing it,
there are
new
millions of people who
ideas-
could have done this better.
Yeah, new ideas come up and everything like that. And he's talked about that in interviews about how things actually like I had an idea, and as I started writing it, like it actually developed into something more, something else. Like look at the character of Bran and so forth or whatever. So, I mean, But I think the thing is they actually I don't know, and this is all speculation. So I can only assume that they must have had such massive egos where they thought this is fucking genius, and
Yeah.
I'm involved in creating the greatest television show in TV history. So I'm a fucking madman.
Hey,
Yeah.
the one
Fucking
guy
jerk-offs.
he
Oh my God,
wrote
jerk-off
wrote for
motion.
Troy. That was so awesome, right? Troy,
wrote X-Men Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine,
I know,
X-Men
I know.
Origins. Those are good
And,
movies,
20
right?
25th
Not total
Hour,
trash,
25th Hour.
garbage.
This stuff with Beric Dondarrion is so stupid, and it just shows how there's no. This guy gets stabbed so much.
Yes.
How does that I don't even have a problem with how many times he was injured. What I have a problem with is that he is following them so closely.
Yeah.
And then he actually ends up in the same room as them.
Like he would die. And I guess there's like Christ symbology there when he's has his arms out.
I
like
guess
that.
because he's such a holy, because the red God brought him back to mind. But even so with all
You know,
that with
Christianity is a theme in
with
Game of Thrones.
Melisandre,
I'm glad
with
they put that in.
Melisandre and everything, and she says like, "Oh, I'm not going to live out the night," and Davos is
Yeah.
is like ready to like slaughter her on sight and whatever. I understand like from an emotional standpoint with his character doing that. At least he's being true to his character. He said, I will kill you." He fucking detests her. He hates her. I understand that, whatever. But then when it's all over, she just walks out there and dies. She was almost like, at first, she was like, I didn't get killed. And then she's like, all right, well, I'm going to kill myself now.
Well, one theory.
What the fuck?
One theory I heard is that the Lord of Light wasn't because the Lord of Light needs sacrifice, and so for her to do the fire, She was her own sacrifice.
That didn't do fucking anything.
That's all. That's what I read. Some first thing.
So
Again,
she
No,
sacrificed
hold
herself
on.
for nothing.
Hold
They
on.
still all got in and slaughtered everyone
That-
except all the main characters.
No, that would have been cool if she somehow just like went into that, I don't know, that barricade and just like blew up in flames or something.
You know,
Why? That would have been way
Dragon Ball Z
better.
movie.
she starts to turn all
Yeah.
red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, death for magic, right? I mean,
Davos says that.
Chaozu clinging and blowing himself up.
What is this?
No, what would have made more sense if she sacrifices herself, if that's some way involved with the death of the Night King. You know what I mean?
Oh,
not
yeah,
not
yeah.
fucking lighting some wood on fire. Can't she do that anyway? She brought someone back from the dead.
They should do a
but you have to
spoof.
die because
They-
you
they
lit
should
some
do a
wood
spoof
on
where
fire
she just
with
run-
a fucking prayer.
they should do a spoof where she just runs out with a torch and drops it and then runs back.
She just has like a floating rock.
They like Helm's Deep. They liked Helm's Deep so much. She should have done like when that Urukai is gonna light up.
Yeah.
Bring him down, Legolas. Yeah. she just-
Have no other master. The ring answers to Sauron alone.
It has no alibi. Into the wild, domestic MG.
We've already had it.
You've already. You stole that one right out of my mouth. I was about to say it.
Just
You've already had it.
Oh man.
He will cast a spell on us.
Well,
Do let him speak. There's so many things. We're missing so much.
So much disappointment.
it's very
We're
disappointing.
not. It's just shallow, Dexter.
Honestly, though, the thing as I was watching it, I kept complaining to my wife. I was outraged
You
that
can't even talk.
that the Night King smiles like that. The arrogance of the writers to have him fucking do that. That makes no fucking sense.
Maybe he was just like
Oh,
stretching.
it's actually the whole time it's just a monster movie. Fuck you. That pissed me off.
Maybe that's not really the Night King. Then.
Even more of a fuck you. Talk about insulting your intelligence or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so. Oh god.
The logistics-
And just the. Sorry, go ahead. Oh, boss is telling me to shut up.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm saying the logistics of having Arya sneak in here, surrounded by hundreds of whites. All the walkers are there. Not one of them.
All of them.
They all just stood like. There's time when she jumped. Aren't they supposed to be like really like?
Well,
Yes.
there was a whoosh. How fast can she fucking move? Like one of the White Walkers makes like a.
Was she
"Huh?"
hiding in
like
a,
something blew
Right.
past me? Did you see that?
Was she
hey,
hiding
Bill,
in a tree?
Did you see did something blow past you?
How did she get there?
Yeah, there's basically a horde surrounding it.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
an
White
impenetrable
Walkers,
wall
too.
of the dead.
I
Where
can
is she?
I can only guess that Theon's like Pickett's charge at the end there distracted them enough.
They just showed us how she's not very good at sneaking because she was found out almost
Yeah,
in
why
the
couldn't she
library
move that quickly and silently in
with
the
six
in the
zombies.
library? Yeah.
So you're trying to make me think she went through a whole horde?
It's fucking bullshit, man. The whole thing is bullshit.
It is a steaming pile.
Why are we
of
even
bullshit.
talking about
It's
it?
hilarious.
Wasting
I
our
don't know.
time. I'm getting. This is why I couldn't
pretty
talk
much
about it. I
done.
couldn't even text you guys about it anymore. All day you guys are talking about. I couldn't even respond.
It's nonsense.
Because it just pisses me off.
Hanging out
Yeah.
with my kids. I can't even get mad about it. It just makes the more we're talking about, the fucking angrier I get. It's such shit.
That's true. No, because we would text and then 5 minutes later, and another thing. And
Oxnard's like, I don't want to talk about this till Wednesday, and then proceeds to instantly send 15 text
because
messages
then Jingles,
in rage.
Jingles 2 minutes later texts all of us asking us what we thought. I was like, all right, here we go. I do like how Jingles, he was kind of defending the first 2 episodes, but I think by this one,
No, he understands.
he
now.
understands.
Yeah,
Well,
he
he's
came
just saying,
around.
he's just poking
Well,
his
he
little
also,
stick, right?
he's the ultimate ball buster.
Right,
so,
right, right.
Yeah.
Also, I hate memes, but there was a funny one.
Dramatic Night
It was
King?
no, it was the night. It was the night. It was the Night
smile.
King, and it said, imagine living 10,000 years just to be killed a few days before Clegane Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
I
was
thought
funny.
that was good.
Yeah, that was funny. No, but
You're living 10,000 years to be tricked by a little kid.
Yeah.
Also, you know what would have been
that's how it
interesting? You know what would have been more interesting if didn't ask for character development to me. I mean, more interesting, but maybe not good. I'll say that. Give that qualifier. Oh, here
Yeah.
it comes. The fucking smirk. But what if
Might be a
Daenerys actually tried to do something, or she was almost not going to help Jon Snow out with something, or like let him, because just moments before this battle is about to begin, he reveals that he's actually the true heir, and she's very disturbed by that. So I wonder what your thoughts are on, like, if there was a scene where she had a chance to almost, like, save Jon Snow and she almost didn't do it, and you know, as the audience member, you're thinking, oh, it's because she's, leading up to the obvious thing. That's probably
I don't
bad.
see that happening, though.
I don't care.
That's an interesting
Azor
idea,
Ahai, I
but-
guess that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, so somebody
Unless
was...
it's Arya.
People were saying that,
My
Barrack...
fucking God.
They were saying, Barrack Dondarrion, he was raised by the Lord of Light because he had to
Wait,
say...
hold on.
he
I'm
had
sorry.
to
Hold on 1 second, boss. Real quick. It says prince or princess. They did set that up. They did say set that up in the show. Miss Sande, she translates in a previous season when the prophecy is revealed that it's, that's a bad translation. It's prince or princess. So it could be Arya.
If
Sorry,
Arya-
boss. I'm sorry, I just wanted to get that word.
If Arya ends up like killing Cersei, killing everyone, and she's on it, then I don't know. I can't believe that.
Boss, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that in.
What was I going to say here?
I'm sorry. I had to get that in because it just was popped in my mind. Fucking.
What's going to happen too is
Bullshit.
when we're done recording, we're still going to have like more stuff. We might end up doing like another episode about this episode.
Oh, I'm sorry, boss.
No, it's okay. So I remembered. So they were saying, people were saying Barrack Dondarrion died because he kept being resurrected because his purpose was to save Arya there, so that she'd kill the Night King. Well, the question is, Jon was raised. What's his purpose? Obviously, wasn't to kill the Night King. Should he die now too, if the Night King's dead? Because if you think about it, the Lord of Light, which probably is a thing because there's so much fire magic and shit.
Where?
The Lord of Light does the Lord of Light really give a shit who's the king of the Iron Throne? It didn't raise Jon Snow so he can be king of the Iron Throne. It raised him so he could help with the White Walkers.
Right, and
they're
didn't do
gone.
A fucking thing.
And now he's still
If
alive.
you think about it,
Shouldn't he be dead now? It's over.
What he did do was muster as
But-
many people as
but
he
that's the
could
thing.
to that cause.
Maybe with that logic that he was
could have died
he
here.
was resurrected so that he could help defeat the White Walkers.
Yeah.
He's done now.
Right. Yeah, over.
According to the Lord of Light, that's all. That was his purpose. His purpose is over.
You're
So they should kill him off.
They should.
Yeah.
A lot of people should have died.
Oh yeah.
They should have lost
Jaime should be dead.
the battle.
Sam should be dead like 3 times.
They should have lost the battle.
Brienne is dead.
Then have to also fight Cersei. To
It should have
then
been
go
like-
and then still have to fend off the Night King.
They should have killed a cool main character before he raised them all, and then that one was raised. Like Tormund, White Tormund fighting.
Yeah.
Tormund. I said it last time. Tormund is the only one who should have
he's
lived.
not. I'm just using it as an awesome example, basically.
He is an awesome example.
But you know what? You get what I mean.
I
Imagine an
understand.
undead
Yeah.
Brienne.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Like you have to fight. Right. Like all of a sudden it's a
You know,
one-on-one battle.
Write about cool ideas
Yeah.
that the fans would enjoy. Not
Like imagine-
garbage
Oh, that would have been really cool.
in a bucket.
like having to fight like
That
all
I
the
shit
garbage
in?
in a bucket trash. Imagine.
From the producers of Toilet Pants.
No, like there it was. The Night King just raises all the fucking dead, and Jon Snow is surrounded by hundreds
and they cut away.
of undead, and he goes, "Ah!" and slashes one. Then they cut
But
away.
no,
And
but
then
you
later you
notice-
see him, and he's in Winterfell, like.
But you notice
It's like a Looney Tunes.
there's another thing. Certain inconsistencies, that just are favorable for the shitty writers is that when Jon's surrounded by the White Walkers, they're slow moving.
Yeah, right. When they're
Other times
attacking the
they're
Unsullied,
fast.
they're moving like yeah, exactly. They're running at full fucking speed, but they're just like mindless, slow drones. I don't know. Maybe there's a delay in their strength when they're first raised. Oh, as a fan, I have to try and fill all the plot gaps.
The other thing that the show really does not do well is that when you encounter the whites out there, it's like so bone-chillingly cold
Yes.
that it like freezes you. It's like
we talked about that, I think, last
Yeah.
time, like why Jon Snow didn't like freeze to death instantly after he came out of the frozen lake, because he's still in that area. Like, also, why can you see things when they're at the battle in the frozen lake in the previous season? Why are they able to see everything and there's not a huge blizzard then? Like at Hardhome, you see all the storm coming.
Yep.
It's only in this episode that you can't fucking see shit.
Hey, look how slow these zombies are moving around,
moving
Jon Snow.
so
Oh
slowly.
my god. Oh, it's just so annoying. Oh.
Yeah, Kid
Like,
Harington.
oh, people won't notice these things.
And did the dragon that Jon Snow was flying die?
I don't know.
they're leaving it. They could throw him in.
cares?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, and now honestly, right now, it
Probably
doesn't matter.
not. Dexter.
Doesn't matter.
Probably
Then
not.
Daenerys lands her dragon, and somehow all these whites crawl all over
Yeah,
it.
Drogon
then-
doesn't realize that things are crawling on his tail.
And then
just whip
Jorah
his
teleports
tail.
to Daenerys.
Look how
Here's
huge
the
that tail is. He can just whip it and kill
This is
30
the other
whites.
thing, right? Why doesn't she fly to the Godswood? He goes, Bran, and then she should fucking go to Bran. Land in the middle, right over Bran, so that if anything, so the dragon fire doesn't work. Can't the dragon eat the
Oh, I'm
Night King?
heating up! I'm heating up, everybody!
Let the dragon
Oh!
let the dragon eat the Night King.
I just have a point
what
here.
the fuck?
Yeah, swallow him!
The
What's he gonna
amount-
do?
Yeah.
The amount of whites around the dragon here is like the same amount of whites that were just around Jon.
Oh yeah, no, John has no problem just
yeah.
with his little.
Look at the
But
trouble
now
the
they're
dragon
fast!
thing.
Yeah.
Now they crawl up him like crazy!
Yeah.
Oh! Here's another thing that I forgot, and I'm gonna try to remember it.
That Jorah
Cross my
Mormont
fingers
teleported
so I can
to
remember
Daenerys?
it. Now I forgot.
Okay.
I'll come back to it.
All right.
Jorah Mormont teleports to Daenerys.
Yes.
How the fuck can he even see where she is?
I don't know. How did he? He goes directly to her location.
Hello, Khaleesi. It's such fucking shit.
Oh.
And he arrives just in time.
Oh, this
Oh,
is
just in the nick of
funny
time.
because
Fucking horse shit.
something Oxnard sent was about the Thens and how the Thens are the closest whites to like people below the wall. Or what?
Oh,
no, wildlings. They're the closest like faction, I guess, of wildlings
no, they're the
that
most
are similar
to people.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
south
yeah,
of the
their own
wall.
Yeah, yeah,
steel.
yeah.
And they're like such beasts in this show.
Oh yeah,
that
that was like comparing books to the show, or whatever. Yeah,
But
the
here's
show,
something-
they're like mindless
Oh.
cannibals almost, and then in John's like marrying them off to like Southling
Yeah.
ladies and things like that. It doesn't make. Oh my god, the show.
Oh man, and people were saying, because they're trying to make this Arya thing make sense. They're saying, oh, when Jon was dodging Viserion,
Everything in the world?
what's the dragon? Viserion, the undead one.
Viserion.
Anyway, the undead dragon, he was dodging like the flames and everything, and then he hides behind a pile of corpses and he yells at the dragon. They're saying that he said, "Go!" to like Arya somewhere. Like he's distracting the dragon.
Off with that shit.
Can you believe that garbage?
you.
Suck
That's
off.
That's
stupid
such shit.
garbage.
I thought you
Who-
were about to tell me. I thought you were actually
When
about to
I
tell me
read
something
these
different.
things, it just I get
No, but see, this is how bad it is,
pains.
boss.
I get
I
pains all
thought-
over.
This is how bad it is.
People are this
with
dumb.
The
And
fan,
then the comments
with
will be
fan
like,
justification.
you're just a nitpicker.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just a nitpicker. I
Stop
don't know what I'm
complaining.
talking about.
You
Oh, I
just
just didn't pick up on all these
Just
smart
enjoy
details.
everything they put down your throat.
But
Why
here's
do
the
you
other
dislike
thing. This
anything?
is how bad I thought the fan justification that was going to be that you were about to tell me. I thought you were
that
going to tell
was
me because he's actually a Targaryen. He was going to be saying something, and he was actually speaking like High Valyrian without realizing, or because there was still some connection between him and the dragon. Oh, some Targaryen, some
Then
fucking
they
bullshit.
bang.
I wish. Well, I want to see some DeviantArt posting
Oh, there's
about
tons
that.
of dragon porn out there. I think
Oh,
that's its own
specifically
furry
about John and the
subsection.
dragons.
Sure.
I'll have to look it up. Oh, what a
I
bunch
would
of
advise
fucking
against
garbage.
that.
And with the crypts, okay? Where
Yes.
was Ned Stark's bones? Okay, why
on,
isn't
man. Headless
Winter
Ned
is coming.
Stark.
now? Is there a reason that Sansa isn't like personally accosted by one of her relatives?
Well, because she's a main character with a name.
Yeah,
She has to
No,
survive.
no, but that's what I mean. Like,
she's the smartest person ever, Dexter.
and who were the ones that came out that we saw?
Well,
'Cause
there
they're
was Tom.
hiding-
They're just not. They're just
hiding-
random zombies.
But her and Tyrion are hiding behind one of the like tombs.
Sarcophagus?
So who the fuck is in there? Did they come out?
No, it's probably Tom Stark, and then there's Jennifer Stark, and Billy Stark.
Yeah.
They're all there.
Archie.
Archie Stark.
CJ Stark,
Thomas Stark.
BJ Stark.
BJ Dart Stark.
DJ Stark, DJ Tanner
Qui-Gon Stark, Obi-Wan Stark,
Fonzie Stark.
Jar Jar Stark, Worf Stark. They're all there.
Yoda
And
Stark.
then you have this moment between
And now
them.
Tyrion and Sansa are in love again.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Remember us?
like this is a perfect
babe.
setup to have them be killed.
At least have them kiss.
Yeah,
give
fucking
each other
kill
a
'em.
little smooch before they die. But they don't die.
There's so much fear in this episode. for
Also,
the
it's like,
writers.
surprise,
You just-
I have a dagger
Your
with
fear
me.
disgusts me, writers. You are pussies.
Why wouldn't they still have armed everybody, even the women and children in the... Well, not necessarily the children, but certainly the adults that are down in the crypts. Like, why doesn't Varys have at least a fucking little dragonstone dagger?
underneath a pile of zombies.
Everybody was smothered by zombies in this episode, and they somehow come out of it. Like I said, and because like if I'm being attacked by like 8 zombies, and you come over to try and save me, and you're just slashing at them, how am I not injured either by the zombies or by you?
Oh, yeah.
It makes no sense.
No, that's the
I'm
worst
telling
thing
you,
about
they should have. It would have been better if they just like. I don't even know what they're gonna do in the next 3 episodes.
I have
Nor
no
do
idea.
I give a fuck.
They should have just improv'd it. Would've been
Now I
better.
gotta watch Cersei and fucking dumbass
And Euron.
shit-face Euron Greyjoy and the
Oh,
bullshit
man.
show.
Well, they gotta save him for last, Dexter.
Oh.
He's the main bad guy, isn't he? Isn't he the main villain?
I'm furious.
And
Wasn't that
How
Euron
are
in
they
the
gonna
first
do-
scene of the
isn't
show,
everyone-
walking around the woods killing people?
isn't everyone dead? What army are they going to attack with?
I don't know. They're like celebrating in the next episode, which is all well and good. Celebrate because you survived. But what the fuck are you gonna do now? You have 1 dragon, maybe 2. Okay. But like, what fucking... I can't even imagine what fucking horse shit they're gonna come up with
man.
to do any damage, like from Cersei doing damage to Daenerys
they're
and Jaime
going-
and everybody else. Unless Jaime... My brother is convinced that Jaime's gonna kill Cersei.
I think.
You were talking about
definitely.
Oxnard was afraid of
Definitely.
Arya doing it.
No, it's gonna be
It's
Arya.
definitely gonna be Jaime.
No, it's going to be Arya. Arya.
I don't know.
Arya's going to
Well,
kill everyone.
But Dexter,
Well,
She's the
Jaime,
best.
Jamie's too predictable. You know, the
He's
writers
gonna
are more
bludgeon her
clever
with his
than
golden
that.
hand. Yeah.
No, what so yeah, let's make predictions. I think that
It will suck.
the last episode there's going to be
I'm so
origin.
sweaty right now. I'm all worked
the
up.
last
God
episode.
damn it.
The last episode's gonna have a montage with. Okay, listen.
montage.
Last episode is gonna have a montage at the end of it with Bran talking in the background, talking about random bullshit that doesn't make any sense. That maybe he somehow did something
Right.
that
Pointless.
never's gonna be explained.
Right.
That's how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
Then he's going to smirk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I swear to God, I thought...
Or he's going to reveal underneath the blankets of his chair and say, I've been sitting the Iron Throne the whole time.
I wish. I swear. I honestly believed... Now, I wasn't thinking in the moment that would be good or bad, like in terms of the storyline of the plot, but I swear I believed... One of the thoughts I had was that Bran was suddenly going to brandish a dragon glass
intended.
dagger and stab the Night King.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How's the Night King not know that he's not fucking armed? Maybe all of a sudden, like, because that would have been a shocking twist. Because Bran even says, like, I have no need for this Valyrian steel dagger when Peter Dinklage gives it to him. Peter Dinklage, not Peter Dinklage. When fucking Littlefinger. I don't know why I said Peter Dinklage.
Oh, yeah, Littlefinger.
Littlefinger.
You didn't say the character's
Peter
name.
Baelish. Peter Baelish.
Oh, okay.
When Littlefinger gives him that Valyrian steel dagger, the very one that he was supposed to be murdered with in his chambers, I thought he was gonna like either brandish that very dagger or a dragon glass one
gave
and
it to
kill the
Arya.
Night King. I know, but surprise twist, he
Right,
would have
yeah.
had it again.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
They don't need to explain it, right?
they don't. It doesn't matter. Nothing needs explanation anymore.
would you
so
explain
fucking
something?
gives a shit. Yeah, it's pointless. It
No,
doesn't
just
matter.
have things
He could've
happen.
Just, it just would have. I wouldn't have been surprised if he just held his hand out and then a dagger materialized there, and he just fucking get it. And then Picard's giving him a salute, saying "You're welcome," and then the
Picard?
Enterprise flies away, and then but he broke the Prime Directive because he interfered with a society that doesn't have warp drive yet. Anyway, I digress. But I swear, I thought Bran.
Well, they
either,
do have warp
He would
drive.
have been doing something. In a sense, they do.
Think about it.
Yes. But I thought he would have done something because He was somewhere the whole time doing something. He must have been up to something that was relevant to when the Night King was about to show up, and then right before he was about to have been killed, he would have said something or done something that would have changed the course of events
just
or
gonna make
something.
it-
But
I'm
no,
telling you.
Arya appears out of nowhere and just does the stupid move and stabs. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm telling you, it's just gonna be.
She has 100
I'm gonna
seconds.
pass
It's just gonna
out.
be a stupid, non-explanation, abstract montage with him talking in the background.
But like I said before, whatever that is, it's fucking meaningless.
Yeah.
I agree. I bet you I agree with you. They're gonna do something like that, and that's what
Artsy
makes me
bullshit.
mad. That's what makes me even
I don't know if
more
they-
mad.
I don't think they
is
are
that,
gonna do that.
whatever he says is fucking worthless. It's pointless. He might as well have died.
Wasn't this the
Bran's
third, this
character
third
is meaningless.
Aren't there 3 more episodes?
Yes!
I don't even. I
What
can't
are
even
they going to
conceive
fucking do?
what 3 episodes could be.
I don't know.
What could they be?
They are mean. All they have to do is
They're-
install someone on the Iron
It's
Throne.
going to be
That's
like
it.
it's going to be Walking Dead.
There could be one
Basically,
episode.
people are just going to be sitting around talking again.
It's going to be Walking Dead
Oxnard.
without the zombies.
Yes.
All we need is one episode now.
Yeah.
That's my point. The one episode. This should have been the second to last episode.
Yeah.
Like all they need is one more to wrap everything up. Who the fuck cares? Why do we need 3 fucking more episodes of
Oxnard,
what?
Oxnard, what are your predictions?
Well, they're going to have to find a way to deal with the Golden Company.
So hot.
Here.
It's all right. I'll cool down.
I really do think Arya. I mean, they're committed to her just being the best at everything. I think she's going to end up killing everyone. I guess there'll be a little dramatic tension between Daenerys and Jon, but ultimately, it's probably they're going to end up ruling together.
I did actually see a cool theory about the Iron Bank and the Golden Company, because this was before all these terrible episodes.
The Night King owed them a lot of money.
But no, yes.
Who's going to pay this?
Actually, Arya's getting all the insurance money. That was not the real Night King. They faked his death.
Oh, shit.
And they're splitting the money.
Insurance scam.
It was.
Oh
it
my
was
God, that
a
would be
faceless
amazing.
man.
Oh,
It's all fraud.
Oh man, the Night King was actually joking a
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Well, no, the theory is
It'd be hilarious if he Night King just tripped while walking the ramp.
last
Lands in
season.
a pie.
Last season, Cersei paid.
Cersei.
Yeah.
Why do you say Cersei?
I don't know. Well, she pays back the Iron Bank. She pays off their debt.
Right.
And they
With
were
sex.
so the theory.
Come on in, boys.
No, they give them gold. The theory was that was like the stupidest thing she could have done, because now the Iron Bank doesn't need her side to win, so they could fund the other side. Now they could pay for the Golden Company to
but
fight
they already,
for them.
But they already
And fight
paid-
against
But they already
Cersei.
did a contract, didn't they, for the Golden Company for Cersei?
So now,
But that it
the
doesn't.
show.
I don't think it matters, because
So
the point is
if Golden
the
Company
point
just
is
suddenly,
Iron Bank
like, they
got
just
their
turn around
money.
and like, psych.
No, the point is that
Psych!
the
Twist
point
their
is
baseball
that
cap around.
well, no. What are the circumstances? Let's say that Cersei gave.
Cersei.
They paid the Golden Company already, or they're going to pay them after the war. Well, either way,
Hold on.
we're watching a stupid dagger stab. Oh man.
What a bunch of.
when that happens, because it was pretty intense there with Bran looking at him, I'm like, is this what? Anything could
You
happen.
kept waiting for Bran to actually. He must have been about to do something.
And then like it surprised me. You know,
Yeah.
I was shocked, but it was the worst thing they could have done.
Yeah.
I was.
It took
I
me a
was
minute
stunned.
because after that happened, I was.
Well, let me
stunned.
finish real quick. My
All right.
point is that the point of this theory that I saw is that now that the Iron Bank's paid off, they could fund the side fighting against Cersei. That's all.
No, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I
Maybe
get that.
Varys will be useful finally, and he can brokerage a deal.
Well,
or
now
something.
that this is over, it's back to like the kind of like almost political stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where
It'd be hilarious if they
Varys
just start.
shines,
They just
but-
start killing off the characters. They all die in stupid ways.
With the what we were just talking about when like Arya actually kills the Night King and everything, and I was actually like stunned, and then once the episode ended, everything started to set in, and then I just got madder and madder and madder, and then we were all texting each other, the 3 of us, and then I was talking to my my brother, my other brother, Snoozer, hasn't watched the show. He's never watched Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Believe it or not, and he doesn't care about spoilers. So like, I had to go downstairs to like change my laundry over. And then my brother shows up, and we ended up talking about it. And I was like, then I kept getting madder, and then I'm getting like so fucking hot. I'm like yelling. I'm waking my kids up. I'm like, my wife starts yelling at me, like, keep it down. Stop talking so loudly out here. It was ridiculous. Like, I was stunned that happened, and then it just kept slowly setting in. Like, this is shit. This was bad. This was stupid. This was stupid. This other thing was stupid. I can't believe it. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. It was like almost reminiscent of the first time when I saw episode 1 when we were younger.
Yeah,
when the new Star Wars movies came out.
Because when I first saw it, I didn't realize.
Like, I saw the movie and I was like, wow. And I still had like this kind of euphoria of like a new Star Wars. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, slowly,
I liked it too after.
Yeah. That's what I mean. And then it just slowly set in.
It's the stages of grief.
And then when I saw it again,
it's denial.
I was like, wait a minute. Wait, what? And then it just kept getting, and then and then as more time went by, and the more times I saw it, I realized this is fucking shit. And then it just becomes like kind of an insult. Now later on as an adult, I don't blame George Lucas even for making such bad things. I blame like all the insane fans.
It's the hype.
Yeah, exactly.
The hype is what
and like the
issue
fan
is.
buildup.
Everything is hype nowadays.
And that is, you could assign blame here for the outrage towards this episode to that as well, but I don't, because mostly up to this point the show has been relatively solid. I mean, for the majority of the show. You know what I mean? If you look at the earlier seasons,
seasons
and
1
George
through
R. R. Martin's involvement and everything like that.
I think it's like
and
seasons
so,
1 through 4 or 1 through 5. It feels like a different show.
Yeah, and they've had questionable episodes, and they've done things that are bad, like the Sand Snakes and Euron Greyjoy.
But even
then
that was
they've had
just one
episodes
part.
like Hardhome and the Battle of the Bastards and all this kind of stuff, and they've pulled it out. You know what I mean? Of the hat, not whatever. And that sounded bad.
Pulled it out of the hat.
They pulled it out of the hat. And then, but with this, it's just then they just shit the bed.
They shit the bed.
I'm rambling again. I don't even know where the fuck I am right now. I'm so sweaty. See, this is what happened. I'm curious I'm gonna really listen to this episode because it starts out so calmly, and then me personally got progressively angrier.
Yeah.
I'm very sweaty.
Now we gotta watch these chuckleheads talk about how great.
I
this
didn't
stuff
watch
is.
this the last time.
God,
Well, what's
turn
weird?
this off.
It's only on demand. Do they have this after the episode thing, or if you go on HBO Go?
Yeah.
When it airs live on HBO, there's none of that.
Oh, they didn't
stuff.
do this?
No, they never show it on HBO.
I watched it on HBO
on the
Go,
premiere.
though.
Oh, you watched it on HBO Go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The first line is oh my god, it pisses me off so
We've
much.
been-
It's
what is
like
it? We've been
it's
leading
something
up to
like,
this.
oh, there's so much building up to this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you would think you would
doesn't
do a
it-
good
There
job.
there was building up to this, and then you fucked it up.
Yeah, you shadow over it. Oh, I got diarrhea today. Where's the script?
You know what's even
Where's the script?
Oh, there we go. That
Just
felt
walks into
good.
the offices. Hey, I got diarrhea today. Where's that script you were
I'm
talking
David Benioff, and I've got diarrhea today. Where's the script?
about? Oh man.
There are even bad storytellers where I saw online. I think I watched it on YouTube. There's a thing where they're like, they're talking about like the making of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're talking about where the actor that played Khal Drogo was there.
Yeah. Aquaman.
Yeah, and they had and they're talking about the slap hand game, which they featured in a stupid sand snake scene when they're in the prison. Yeah, and they're doing that, and so wow, it was so fascinating. That came from a real life thing where where David Benioff is playing it with Jason Momoa or however you say his name, and everyone's like, oh my god, you're gonna play that with him? And he played it, and he kept playing with. They were like at a bar drinking in England or something after they shot scenes, and they rapped with him.
Does the
and
location
he's-
matter?
And he's smacking the shit out of his hands, and then he flies back to LA, and he's like, oh, you got to go to the emergency room. Your hands are so swollen. And then they say they took an X-ray, and the doctor said you have squished hands, and that's the end of the fucking video. So they're bad storytellers, is my point.
No, but there's
They can't even tell an interesting story about something that was funny, interesting like that.
He even says it.
Yeah.
You think back to the very. Yes, of course we're thinking back to that. That's the whole point of the story. I mean, a
This is
major
the
theme.
culmination
Turn this guy
of the
off.
key storyline.
Turn this guy off.
Fuck off!
The thing is, not only is it bad writing, it's just bad planning in general of having these characters where they are at this point of the story, and the choices just the broad choices of what happens are
Yeah.
so insanely bizarre
Yeah.
that you do start to wonder if, like, maybe there's some drug problem going on.
Yeah.
It's something with these writers that they're all getting in a room together and like puffing gas and saying, "Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Ari. Oh, yeah, have Ari."
No, that's what I mean. It's ego. It's like
Yeah.
none of them
It is ego.
challenge each other
Yes.
enough. That's the thing. Like, I want to watch a video of like Vince Gilligan's writing room, and then
They have it. They have it on YouTube.
No, I know, but I mean compared to but I mean like where like you hear the audio. I mean, I want to see like
I think that
I want to be a
exists.
fly on the wall in one of his writing rooms, and then in one of the Game of Thrones writing rooms, because it's got to be fucking vastly. Like, there's nobody. Somebody's got to step up. Like,
No, that guy gets kicked to the
I feel
curb.
like that's what I mean. Like, there should be people that like challenge each other.
No.
You know what
So
I mean?
It's probably just all, oh, yeah, that's a cool idea. Yeah, let's
Because
do that.
even with going back to
Cool.
Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
with
the
the
fans will like
Houndstooth
that.
stuff, yeah,
Oh, that sounds cool.
the fans will like that.
You guys
yeah.
want Chinese or sushi for lunch?
Yeah, that's more important, right?
Like, there's got to be, even with the Lord of the Rings stuff, like, I mean, they had another actor cast as Aragorn. You hear about the things that they almost did, and you think, oh, wow, that would have been really bad.
Yeah.
And then they ended up not doing that because somebody said something, or they thought about it, or, like,
Yeah, 'cause,
there's so much, like,
the-
there's so many people's input that does go into it, and they're so, like, aware of the gravity of every scene, every line, every
Yeah.
word.
Did you
that's
read that
spoken.
article with Elijah Wood? How Amazon spent $1 billion?
Oh
to
yeah,
get
I did. He thought it was crazy. I
Yeah,
mean,
well, it's 200
but almost like a third of that is for the rights.
Yeah, $250 million just
Yeah.
to get the rights to Lord of the Rings. But he was just saying like how Lord of the Rings when it was made, no one knew how big it was going to be, and it felt very much like an indie film.
Yeah. Even when you watch, I mean, I've watched, I don't even know how many times I've seen the extended versions of the movie and then all the supplemental material that goes along with that in those DVDs. But even then they said it was like an independent film. I mean, actors are like lugging equipment around and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It was like, and they even made a short film while they were making the movie. And like
Right.
an independent film, the long and short of it is called, and they did all kinds of stuff. It was everybody was kind of involved. It was like a big, and you talk about like they had miniatures in the movie that were called bigatures. Mm-hmm. That's like a theme that applies to just the making of the movie itself, if you think about it, because it was like the biggest independent movie that was ever made, or series of movies.
And they made all three of those movies for under $300 million. At the end of the
and
day.
it produced like $2 billion worldwide, at least. Like,
But that's what, because Peter Jackson, even though
and
he
I'm not
doesn't-
going to include. Forget about the Hobbit movies.
No. That's when after he started talking to James Cameron started giving him all these
Yeah,
weird
he became
ideas.
too big. Yeah.
No, but Peter Jackson, I'm sure he doesn't seem like an aggressive, like, dominant guy, but
He
things
is,
like,
though.
Yeah, so like changing Aragorn at the last second, like I can see him. He makes those choices.
Yeah.
Like even for King Kong, Howard Shore was doing the score, and near the end of production, he had to get rid of Howard Shore because they didn't agree.
Really?
Yeah, and he brought in another guy.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah, that was I remember hearing that. I was like, holy shit, I don't know, but I'm curious how Peter Jackson would like make that call, or and then it's a very polite.
Hello,
and
Howard.
reasonable.
I'm sorry, but you're fucking
It's
fired.
not really gonna be. You're fucking fired. You fuck.
And I lost all this weight, but now I'm eating cheeseburgers because you're giving me stress. I love Peter Jackson. I'm sorry.
But
No, but I mean,
no. So
I
now
forgot what
you
my
hear-
fucking point was.
No, so all the money going to this Lord of the Rings
Oh, yeah.
thing, and all the money that's going into Game of Thrones, you do hope that it's not just ruled, because the more money you put into it, the more those people making the thing have to answer to these people.
That's true.
And I
I
guarantee
gave you all this money.
a lot of
Yeah,
these higher
yeah,
ups and these
yeah.
producers probably
Right.
say, hey, we have to appeal to the mass audience.
right.
Keep it simple. Don't make it too complicated.
Yes.
This is what makes me nervous now
Yeah,
about
I have no hope
Apple
for the
making
future.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Apple is $1 trillion company. Amazon is $1 trillion company.
So we'll see.
They're making two of the most important things
In
of
your
my
life.
life. Honestly.
They are. It's kind of scary.
I mean, since from
Hey, we still
Lord of
got
the Rings
still
and
got the-
Foundation
Still got the Expanse.
are like are two pillars of my essence.
Expanse is great.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, we still have the Expanse.
Here's the thing, though, about Expanse, because I've talked to people who also watch this. I was like, the Expanse is done. They ended it. It's over.
Don't spoil it because I haven't watched the.
But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to
season,
spoil anything.
And I have to read. I have
but-
only read 2 of the books.
Somebody was saying, oh, yeah.
I've read
somebody,
8 books.
I've
out.
read half of one.
somebody was talking to me. They're like, oh, yeah, I love the Expanse. I can't wait to come out with another season. I was like, no. They ended it. That's the end.
They could not have
you don't,
ended it.
You don't
No,
need.
they have.
Amazon,
you don't
Amazon
need
bought it.
But that's what I'm saying. They had a good ending.
Yeah, but they're going to keep
Yeah,
making
but you know,
it.
there's like 8
But that's
books
what I'm
out.
saying. It's over.
With the
They
first
ended
2
it.
seasons are like the first book.
Yeah.
You either ended it,
So much
or
happens,
it's just
and also
nonsense.
By
after
the
that.
way, that's 2 guys. It's 2 guys that write the books for that, and one of the guys worked for George R.R. Martin.
I didn't like that though. I think it's over. I mean,
Like I
in
said,
my
don't
opinion,
say anything because I
Amazon
haven't.
is
I'm not
making
going to
more.
say anything. But
I
in
haven't-
my
I haven't
opinion, it was a good ending. It's over.
No, but Amazon is making more.
I know. I'm just saying. In my opinion, Oxnard,
In his opinion,
Right.
that is
I know,
bullshit.
but isn't that like? But if you think about it,
It's over.
but what I'm saying to you is, I agree with
What I could
understand
see-
what you're
what I
saying,
could see is
but
not another-
there is much more to
Yes.
material.
So what I could say is not another season of The Expanse, but side stuff, different stuff.
Side
Call
boob
it something
stuff.
else.
Well,
The Expanse, something else.
Well, you could say
Don't
that.
Just say it's another season
No,
of
no.
what I just saw.
But what you could say the same thing about like Foundation, for example, like
Yeah.
over the course of the first book,
Did you finish The Expanse? Oxnard?
decades pass,
Okay, yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
You'll get it.
Sometimes in one book you'll jump to the next chapter. And it's
hundreds
like
of years,
100 years.
hundreds
later.
of years.
But no, finish and you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
we should do the Expanse.
Definitely, I've always wanted to do that for not like episode by episode, but just maybe like two discussions per season,
Yeah, yeah.
and then just to get caught up, and then
You know,
I have-
we could watch. We should catch up on what we haven't watched
won't
yet,
spoil
and then we can
anything,
talk about what has happened
There's
I
a thing.
really,
thus far.
The
The
Expanse
theme-
is really good, and I wouldn't have many bad things to say about it, but there are a few bad things.
yeah, the theme that we have going now, I'm noticing, is we get into a show at the peak. At its height, like into The Walking Dead, that's like
Oh, yeah.
It was right at the top,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we were there for the decline.
Yeah.
Better Call
Oh,
Saul
boy, were
so
we
far
ever.
has all
Oh,
been
no.
good.
Well, because that's
It's
master
different.
class.
Um,
I watched the first season of Deadwood.
Oh, you did, man! you beat
Well,
me
I'm
already.
I'm at home now. I'm not working for like the next month, so I'm at home now with because with my 3-month-old son and my kid because my wife went back to work, my other daughter, and so I'm watching a lot of TV. But
It's a good show for kids.
Deadwood is
Fixing your
well,
computer,
he doesn't
Dexter?
fuck- Nope,
How's that computer?
Holy
it's
fuck.
dead.
Come on.
I'm too. I keep forgetting.
Fix it. Deep Rock Galactic.
I'll talk to.
Yeah,
talk-
everyone out there, buy
take
Deep
care.
Rock Galactic.
Yeah.
Support indie games.
Oh, well,
Since
yeah,
we're talking about
absolutely.
independent
That's a
stuff.
given.
Rock and Stone.
Rock and Stone.
One thing I haven't done, I've been occasionally able to play my Switch. And so I've been and I got Final Fantasy VII on the Switch, so I'm in.
For Jamie?
I just left Midgar. Oh, it's a Night King.
Should we end this? We're done.
Yeah, we're done. I think
All right,
that's-
well, that was the long night.
Hope you
It
Is that
lasted.
what it was called?
enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's the long night.
Yeah.
That's 10,000
Isn't that
years.
One
Gordon?
night is one night.
It's just
It's an
another
hour and a
insult.
half.
fucking
It's just another
jerk
insult.
offs.
Then it wasn't even daytime yet.
At the very end, it is.
It was like half a night. Whatever.
It was a long night, though. That's a man.
Felt like a long night anyway.
Oh, that was the longest night.
God, now I'm so hungry. I feel like I burned so
I
many
had a
calories
long
yelling.
night trying to figure out what the fuck I just saw.
It's been a long several nights.
All
It's
right.
been a long few weeks.
I'm still mad about that episode.
Bye, everybody.
God.
I'm Oxnard.
Dexter, goodbye.
Dun, 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 dun,
Is that Mac? It looks
dun,
like
dun,
Mac.
dun, 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 dun,
It's
dun,
yet
dun,
another
dun,
show on
dun,
Sci-Fi
dun,
that'll just be like,
dun,
once that reaches its peak, they'll
dun,
cancel it for no
dun,
reason.
No, no, no.